Welcome. I want to introduce the wonderful James Mastroantonio, the host this evening with Pineider, New York. He and his team, Megha and Kai, have been tremendous in helping us with this. So please take it away, James.
Take it away. Be careful, don't be carried away. I don't know if you can all hear me. First of all, I'm really indebted to Bruce because when he came and spoke to us about the idea of having this evening, it goes back to the foundations of this company. This was created in 1774. Think about it, it's Florence, where the Renaissance was created. The Medici are out. The French are going to be moving in slowly. You get the idea. Voltaire is just dying. There's a few great philosophers that are over, but here we are. And we've taken the traditions of that store, the very first store in Florence, where the writers and the artists came. So we're just really kind of closing the circle. So one more time, I'm very grateful to you that we had the opportunity to do this and introduce so many people to our company.
Well, thank you. And remember, there are wonderful offers this evening, 20% off everything, free embossing of notebooks, and a raffle. You're already entered. The object of the raffle was that pen set on the counter.
So let me tell you just what the raffle is. We have, Bruce and I have offered a beautiful fountain pen. There is paper there. It's called Whitacre. And when you touch that paper, it's the earliest kind of cold pressed paper. We had to wait a year to get this particular paper. It's just a little card, and then the ink. It's sepia, Leonardo's color. So, good luck to whoever gets it. That's okay.
Wait,
Thank you.
we didn't do it.
So everyone's in. You're already in.
How do you get into it?
You are.
Oh,
Everyone who signed up, you're in.
John Yost.
Jay Yost.
Ah, you are.
Speech. You talk to them. Congratulations, Dave.
I've known him since 1973.
All right, everyone. Good evening.
John's going to get his gift.
Okay, now, Jay. All right. So I want to again thank Pineider. There's a story about why this is here tonight. Years ago, when I first moved to Rome to work for the World Food Program, I passed this window on Via della Scrofa near Palazzo Borghese, which had these aristocratic wedding invitations and diplomatic soiree invitations out on display. And God help me, I was hooked, and I've been on the Pineider way ever since. Coincidentally, that's kind of when I started taking myself more seriously as a writer. So when I look around, we all see objects we use to convey love, affection, support, greetings, all with this really keen sense of craft, which is kind of like a poem, isn't it? Yeah. Here we are. And before we begin with the program of these wonderful readers, I also want to express my great gratitude to Roxanne Hoffman and her colleague Jack Cooper. With a little token of appreciation, indie publishing is the work of angels. Roxanne, could you come up, please? Thank you so much. Roxanne, not only brought this book out, but she also was, as many of you know, very critical in helping me put out The Elk and the Glade last year, my first book. So, all right, enough of that, and we'll get on with our first reader. Oh, the other thing I want to say is that my whole poetic lineage is in the room tonight. I went to Jose Calle's birthday party and met my first living, working poet, Lynn McGee, who introduced me to Susana Case, who brought me to Brownstone Poets, where I met Patricia Carragon, and then I met Roxanne. So that's just the start of the journey, but you're all here tonight. So our first reader, beautifully enough, is Lynn. She's written 4 books of poetry. Her next title, Science Says Yes, will be out next year from Broadstone Books. She introduced me to many poets through her Lunar Walk reading series and she inspired me to carry on and complete my first book, The Ultimate Way. Please welcome the wonderful Lynn McGee.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here and so excited to read a poem from this beautiful, elegant book. Good Housekeeping. I sing the body domestic in sonnets Hooveric. The housefrau in the corner is heartless to my dog, but her pressed curtains part on a promise of paradise. Without home fires, there would be neither war nor peace. It left the bootprint of settlers on stolen lands of those they called savage. Housekeeping is why greed is the root of evil, yet it keeps us alive. Beau of that Mayfair Amazon, Mrs. Dalloway, a feather duster is our sword, Damocles. Dismiss its implications at your peril. Our polished windows gaze out unobscured on the dwindling Anthropocene vista, the clear-cut waste we've washed down the disposal. It can't go on like this. This is all we have. Bruce met my good friend Susana through the Lunark series that I curated with my friend Jerry LaFemina. Like Bruce, she is in love with Italy, and she speaks Italian, though she's very humble about that. Susana is the author of 9 poetry books, most recently, If This Isn't Love, from Broadstone Books. Please welcome Susana H. Case.
This really is a bunch of interconnected people. I think I know at least half of you through various things in New York, and yeah, from Lynn, there's a direct line through me to Patty and so forth. So, congratulations, Bruce. Great book. And this is from the book, Station Square. I will walk to Station Square, though I won't take the train or check out new cocktails at the bar. I won't worry about departures or arrivals, weather delays, or locked waiting rooms. I haven't looked at a schedule for weeks. Tickets crumple in my pocket. The trackside trees are leafing out without me. The funny man who pees all the time is no longer a comfort station customer. The pushy lady who grabs the first seat must now roll easily from kitchen chair to couch, I suppose. We gaze at screens, not out the windows of the empty trains passing by without us, through a region frozen in emergency of seething hospitals and blinded shops. Trains clack over the heads of parents juggling children, and accounts unaided and without success. Too much out of reach, too much passed them by, too many cash earners gone. Their losses will pull the spikes from all our rails, knock the train from the trestle, and there will be nothing to wait for coming round the bend. I turn back down the silent streets and walk home from Station Square. Aren't you glad that passed? As mentioned, Bruce and I have both read many times in Patricia's Brownstone Poets group. She is a Poets Wear proud pressmate of Bruce's and widely anthologized and published. Her most recent book is Angel Fire from Ellie and Buddha Press. Here is Patricia Carragon.
Thank you, Susana. Bruce, congratulations. I already got your book already. Thank you for the signature. Oh my God. I never forget, I met you at KGB and I think at the Kiwanis readings with Jerry. Oh, I love your work and I'm so glad you're part of Brownstone Poets. Now let me read the poem. More berry than brine. Holidays and marriage. Some years the nice times kick in early. But don't always stay. Maybe a longer glance. Words more berry than brine before the door slam. The silence broken by a sigh. Why do some such treacherous shawls skirt special days, their false treasures nested with dream dragons? Maybe Maybe you've given up expectations ages ago, but there's always a live cinder to fan. The wrong word at the wrong time, the good walk ruined. These confounded days to do nothing is to surrender. Maybe you're still speaking by lights out. You squeezed a hand under the pillow, and that will be there next year. The snore is a smooth, and the next day back to a quotidian simmer. Maybe heat is life. Maybe the effort is the success. Congratulations. And now we introduce Jason Scheiderman. Jason has been Bruce's go-to expert on the sonnet form and many other aspects of the poetry trade. He has written 5 books of poetry. He just completed a Fulbright fellowship. His self-portrait of Icarus as a country on fire comes out from Red Hen Press later this year. Please welcome Jason Scheiderman.
It is wonderful to be here on this day and celebrate you. I'm so proud of you. War and peace at Target. Walk past the warning signs and guards at the door into the benevolent departments of lifestyle cures. Songbirds fall to the earth. Hungry, thirsty, naked, unsheltered, unwell, unfree, unburied, whatever the corporeal gap, the plug is only a scan away. SKU, by you don't know who. The dispossessed take the streets. No matter that your shopping basket also bears the weight of the gloved hand of the stalker, of the last breath of the trucker. Seawater laps doorways. The shells carry more than solutions. The hornet buzz of headline swarms the blood-red lanes. Drones, blade skies. All for the hunt, the list, and the labels. If it can't be charged, it can't exist. A father faints in the hold. The reptile brain is as far as target can take you. Snake coiled, but deaf and almost blind, jaws endless, stomach bottomless. A child wanders desert bureaucracies. Peace has turned into some kind of war. A war that you taste in the very air of the store. Denial persists. There are no warning signs, no guards at Target's door. No, the focused shopper lines up and checks out as before, items bagged like the trophies they are. Families, empty pantries. And it is my pleasure to introduce Regina Taylor. Regina and Bruce met through the theater, where among other collaborations, they helped design a major national program advancing equity, diversity, and inclusion in regional theaters. A Golden Globe Award-winning and Emmy-nominated actress, as well as director, activist, and playwright, known for plays like Crowns and many more. Please welcome Regina Taylor.
Be here with you and celebrating you, from Signature Theater through all of your incarnations to today. I'm just so proud of you. Thank you so much. Once more for Elizabeth, the proper English girl who went to Moscow in 1957, a British communist teen. Then you motorcycled from Spain to Rome, typewriter on your back, seeking work. 35 years later, you retired to London after Kabul, Tokyo, Jakarta, New York, Khartoum, Aventino, Palermo. All this loomed like ancestry behind. Your terror-circled eyes when we knocked on your door one winter's eve to dine out and catch up, you had said. Yet here's a solitary dinner and a single glass of wine on the sunroom table. Bar opens at 6, you say, laughingly pouring. A rondelle of questions answered and answers lost. Why weren't we staying upstairs, eating in again and again, the same questions and answers? Your twilight gradually gone. Finally convinced to dine out, you go upstairs to change. A while later, to our relief, you return wearing the same sorry top and slacks. Still, of and off, and so are we. You almost remember our names. We eat Italian, a shared board, yet you mention nothing from before, only nod and agree as we remind. To my shame, we let you get the tab. You nearly wept as you pleaded until I realized that for you now, to buy us dinner proves you remember us. Promenading in the treetops at Kew, mocking Portland and Mason at Christmas, then catching you there the next day, lunching at your club on Green Park, Pompeii at the museum, Sam Shepard on stage in New York, inspecting your Umbrian gardens, driving from Heathrow to breakfast with Kitty, fireworks over Central Park on New Year's Eve, jet-lagged dawn breaking gray in your garden. Now I remember for you. You say your car is in the garage just as we pass it on the drive. Who is watching over you and all the risks such as strangers like us, conning a meal? Open letters from months ago sit on the counter as aid memoir, a medicinal booklet. All is reasonably clean. Ah, dear friend, they are calling and you hear them. We promise to see you again soon as you shut and double lock your door. For now, this jar is full. For love you as we do, distance divides us, and our memories, even this one, spill into the void. This intro is for Gerald Wagner. Bruce and Jerry met through Lunar Walk. His books include A Month of Sundays from Inland Books and When Nothing Wild Remains from Broadstone Books. He runs the acclaimed Persistence of Cormorants reading series on the Gowanus Canal. Here is Jerry Wagner.
Microphone. Those of you who come to the Gowanus Canal for the Persistence of Cormorants will be happy to know that I bought a sound system. You were all expected to buy t-shirts. I didn't know there were nightingales in New York City. Yeah, we met at Lunar Walk, and then kind of like kept meeting, and then now we have dinner once a month at Phoebe's before KGB, right? About like that. It's been just kind of going that way. Nightingale on East 19th. At dusk, the purple shadows spill out around the ginkgo tree skirts. Yellow-violet streetlights ignite afterwork smokers on stoops. The corner bar casts a blue glow from some game broadcast from somewhere. Across the street, the deli flowers beam red, yellow, and pink little fires. Standing still with my bag at a light, I silence the jostle of pears and ginger ale. Stray meadow tracks pierce my ear, the notes of an improbable nightingale, transmuting twilight into sound, chanting the promise and loss of night. Silence aches with each caesura, and singing again arcs of awe. A heedless siren squelches the spell, then you flutter in the fan-leafed trees. Again you ignite the air and sound, sanctify this hectic, honest hour. As I said, Bruce and I, sure, Captain. Well, Bruce and I are regulars at KGB Bar, and Jada Gordon is one of the co-curators there, and an amazing personality in person, and she is an award-winning Bronx-based writer whose work focuses on identity, family, and sexuality. And through Bruce, she has become a closet fan of Nebraska. She also tells me that she would like to go to Montana. Please welcome Jada Gordon.
Thanks, Bruce, for inviting me. Thanks for exposing me to your beautiful state of Nebraska. And it's an honor to just like be in community with you and get to know you. I'm very proud of you. Thank you for this evening. This is called Night Rider. August, I am sleepless and stuck in Rome, working a job from someone else's dream. Tossing off clinging sheets, I go to the window and widen the shutters for more air. Faint stars sprinkle the golden dome of Roman night. It's fetid haze of hiatus. Their lights are almost audible in the vacated silence of cats hunting the ruins of the red vamped naves. The sweet mountain zephyr, and only on this sea does zephyr pertain, descends from the hills, flushes the day's dry heat out to sea, and soothes my beaded brow. Rat-a-tat-tat catches my drowsy ear. A drum beat, then cymbal, someone is typing. From my eyrie, the stories of windows wrap around the courtyard in a 1930s grid. Geometry was progress then. One or two lit windows sentinel the shadows. The erratic rhythm almost echoes, traceless. It is a sound soon to be silenced for all time. That tap, tap, tap chain of 20th century lyre. It calls to my storyteller, my bard, my troubadour. I listen and yearn to take a seat, to crank a slice of paper and carve with those keys, a lament, a tirade, an epic launched by a golden apple, a lullaby, or how it feels to gaze out on an August night and hear someone's mind at play, inviting me along to leap from this life and inside a new story. Thank you. So I will be introducing Megha Sood. Megha and Bruce bonded during a poetry workshop conducted by Roxanne Hoffman in 2022. Her book, My Body Lives Like a Threat, was published in 2022 by Flower Song Press and just won the Book Fest 2024 first place in contemporary poetry.
Congratulations, Bruce, once again. Let me hold the microphone. Congratulations, Bruce, once again. And we can all see from the gathering how much love this man has gathered. And we wish you all the success in your upcoming books. This is your second book, but this will give us so many more excuses to gather and celebrate and more venues. Okay, so I'm the last reader. So I'm going to be reading the poem called Obeyed for My Protectors. Angels, spirits, gods of place and power, your work begins at the dawning hour. Your breath stirs my dreams and sometimes whispers auguries in my ear, which I forget now as I open my eyes to the first grey light. In these last moments of the watch, I remember the asthma times, lungs in floods. Whose kiss saw me through those nights? Who slid me down across the seat of the rolling car as the bridge girder shattered the steering wheel? Who guided the little boy safely along the ledge that day in the park when I was the only adult close enough to have saved him from a fall and me from blame? I gaze into the mirror at my face, sculpted clean of sunspots. I decant my pills, the spells that protract my days. Who or what steered the hands whose making rattle out of bottles, keep the heart on track? Something watches over me. Someone is there. Whoever you are, angels, totems, dharampalas, every day we see the axis fall on those whom you abandon. The hit and the run, the stray bullet, the fatal coronary, bad luck or payback. Scoffers say it's the casino of cause and effect, yet every winner is superstitious. In a parallel universe without you, I slouch, face bulbous with tumors immobilized by wheezing. One eye was gouged out by that girder. I languish in jail over that boy's fatal fall. My sick heart will surely cut short this misery soon, luckily. Instead, sun streams in through the windows, dancing among the memorabilia, ancestors, angels, deities of chemistry, totems, guardians, whoever you are in your multitudes or your supreme oneness, watch with me. The sun rise above the arching trees and stay by my side as I walk out that door. I pray. Thanks everyone for listening.
Thank you, all of you. This is a very close community, and I'm extremely grateful. I'll conclude with just a couple poems, and we'll be heading out. Remember the shopping. There's some great values here that you don't want to miss. So the first poem is the first poem of mine that was ever published, which was not that long ago. It's dedicated to my master potter friend here tonight, Judy Weddle. It's a haibon, which is a poem with a haiku at the end called Toshiko's Cup, which was inspired also by Toshiko Takeatsu, who has a fabulous show at the Noguchi Museum right now. Toshiko's Cup. The smaller the bowl, the more precious the tea. Or is it just a rumor, an echo from Rikyu's suicide? The exquisite dissolves in the mundane, leaving the residue of this wave-washed vessel, a paradox solved only by use. And this is the haiku. Rainbow, void, and clay, fired to hold rare infusions, sipped by refined lips. By the way, I do a daily haiku. The cards on the table with the book cover on them will connect you to my link tree, which has things about the Substack, which goes into more of these poems and things. So even if you think you know me, you might want to check that out. So the second poem is a tribute to Pierce, to whom the book itself is dedicated. We've been playing house together for over 40 years. He's actually actually here tonight making his annual court-ordered conjugal poetry visit. Thank you, Pierce. And I think more through him I met Jose, so there you go, it all goes back. Midsummer Midlife. Come pillow against me and let's savor a Netflix. The bed is stripped to sheets. The AC catches up. The sexy show and your weight on my chest launch beta video memories that have outlived their playing. Fuzzy snatches of escapades, glances across fog-filled rooms lit by smoldering flickers of Bring It On, halo your face lit by the screen. That detonate under my skin this Saturday night, that descends from velvet ropes, then chains, then spiked collars, the bind that ties, confines, that couch. Now we leave parties early or blow them off. We turn away from other greener mouths back to now. Yes, scan the menu. This is still the one recommended for you. Thank you, everyone. Now, I want to make one big plug, and you should do this for all of your writer friends. Please review books on Amazon. It's the monster in the machine. We don't like feeding it, but it's the key to success and spreading the word. So please remember to Amazon.
And there's always Goodreads.
And Goodreads, that's right.
Goodreads.
And then you can buy the book through bookshop.org. Okay. Thank you to Jada, Jason, Jerry, Lynn, Megha, Patricia, Regina, and Susana for carrying the torches tonight. Let's give them a big hand of applause. Thank you again to Roxanne and Jack, and most of all, thank you to all of you, my dear friends, for being here tonight. And thank you, Pineider. Yes. Could all the readers please come this way, please? We want a big grouping of the readers. Oscar, this is one. Oscar's good. You're good enough. Yes.